Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Endwalker. In the last episode, we finished up the Alexander quest line, where we ended up getting involved in causality paradoxes and time loops and all kinds of other stuff. So basically Tuesday for us, and dealt with Alexander, which is now basically frozen in a moment of time for all eternity. So with that now all dealt with, we need something else to do. And so there is one other thing that we can go ahead and get started on, and that is the Omega raid series, because that's one thing that we have not done in this series yet. So let's go ahead and head on in. And I think I'm going to stick on Samurai for the time being. So let's teleport ourselves out. I believe it will be Eorzea Reach. And we will be looking for Biggs and Wedge. There they are. Alright, Wedge. Oh my, thank the gods you're here. We need your help. Because of course you do. In case you haven't heard, we've set up operations in Eorzea Reach while we look for Omega. It's been decidedly slow going, I'm sorry to say, and we still haven't seen the blasted thing since it disappeared during the battle with Shinryu. So now we're heading over to Stormblood, obviously. Which is not to say we haven't made any progress. We know now that Shinryu ended up in the Imperial's hands, and that it was shackled with some very distinctive looking bindings when they found it. Obviously, only you know what could have done something like that, and the fact that the restraints were still functioning suggests it didn't shut down when the chief instructed it to either. Anyway, we were getting close to identifying Omega's whereabouts when we encountered what you might call a problem. Mayhap it would be best if you came to the workshop and saw for yourself? Very well. Ah, yes, Nero. Surprised. Aye, so are we. He's been brought in as a consultant, believe it or not. How many times do I have to tell you you will play no part in this investigation? Your motives were dubious from the first, and nothing you have done since has served to make them any clearer. Out of necessity, I agree to take part in Omega's activation, but that will be the extent of our cooperation. Yeah, because this is before that we did all the stuff with the tempering cure or any of that sort of thing. Passing judgment without due consideration, openly disparaging colleagues, not very chiefly of you, Chief. I'll have you know I'm a sensitive new recruit who thrives on encouragement. And I trust you'll thrive elsewhere when I encourage you to piss off. I will not have him on our roster, Jesse. Never mind anywhere near our work. His employment is to be terminated, effective immediately. The thing is, Chief, we've already paid him in full, and it wasn't exactly a pittance either. 4/5 what you get was the agreement. Look, whatever disagreements you might have had in the past, the fact is we could do with his expertise now. Let him earn his keep, at the very least. I don't believe this. You claim my wholly justified ventures represent an unsuitable risk to the Ironworks, and then pay him a sultan's ransom in advance? Him? Give me strength. This has been the way of it for a while now, on account of which we've had to put the investigation on hold. Well then, let's just go on our own then. As much as I admire your enthusiasm, hero, you will not get very far without some brains to complement your admirable brawn. Happily, I am blessed with a surfeit of the former. From this moment forth, you shall be my chaperone. With the realm's savior watching my every move, I couldn't possibly make any mischief, which should surely serve to allay my employer's concerns. We're being conscripted. Forgive me, Ayame. It was not my intent to embroil you in this mess. I didn't even know you were here. Seeing as you are, though, I cannot deny that I would be glad to have you on board. Fact is, we are no clearer to understand the true extent of Omega's powers, and even if it was damaged during its encounter with Shinryu, it seems highly doubtful that we will be able to disable it unaided. We have got as far as identifying its likely resting place, but I, for one, would feel a lot more confident about surveying the area with you around to deal with any unexpected surprises. Might I persuade you to lend us a hand once more, old friend? Sure thing. Then it's settled. Chief, we have a problem. The etheric concentration levels of the yawn are soaring. Our readings doubled from one moment to the next, and by the time we went to check them, they doubled again. What? But that could only mean... Evacuate the site. I shall handle this matter personally. Biggs, Wedge, Ayame, I need you to be at... I need you with me at the yawn. To the south of here. That's where we believe Omega came to rest. Jesse, hold the fort while I'm gone, and if possible, continue surveillance from a safe distance. Alright, Chief. Watch yourself out there. Am I to stay and mind the shop too? Oh no, I'm not letting you out of my sight. But before you fill the room with maniacal laughter, I want you to remember something. When you collected your inexplicably lavish fee, the Ironworks Creed became your creed. That's freedom through technology, in case you've forgotten, not supremacy through elegant ingenuity. Breach this contract and I'll have my pawns of flesh. Alright, well, we're off to see Sid at the Yawn, which is down there. So, we'll head on over, and I'll be back once we're there. And there it is, and it's full of purple something, which, you know, that's just lovely. What in the seven hells is going on here? A veritable sea of condensed ether. Our precious has been busy. What villainy is this? Ah, Midgard's armor. Been a while. In slumber sweet have I lain since mine offspring's war with man did end, yet I could choose but stir at this abhorrent stench. Have care, mortal, for within this great hollow lieth Omega. Yeah, we're kind of aware of that. Long have we known one another, our history spanneth eons and stars. Oh gods, what's happening? It's a chibi chocobo. It looks like a stuffed animal. Chief, get out of there! And it went right through us. Yeah, you're not dead. Apparently not. It passed straight through me as if it were some sort of illusion. Tis one of Omega's creations. Omega is a weapon wrought in a place beyond the reach of thy kind, capable of weaving ether into life. That serpent is yet unfinished, no doubt not that it will become a corporeal threat ere long. Well, whatever it is, it's gone. While this peculiar thing remains. Yeah? If it looks like a chocobo and quests like a chocobo, I'm thinking it's probably a chocobo. Alright. Pigs? It looks like a chocobo in the same way a mammoth looks like a person, if you know what I mean. Wedge, you heard him in Quay, didn't you? He's a chocobo, I'm sure of it. Yep. Nero. Fascinating. We should dissect it. In the name of science. Of course, and Sid. I have no idea what it is, but it doesn't seem to pose any immediate threat. Oh. Chocobo, meet my chocobo. The way it quests isn't unlike a chocobo, but it looks more like a stuffed doll to me. It's definitely a chocobo. Trust me on this. The ones we Lalafels ride are all about this size, aren't they? I suppose. Alright, let's go with chocobo for now. Thy mistress's blessing extendeth not unto this creature's soul, then. Very well. As a matter... Oh yeah, that's right, because we have the echo, but we can't understand it, apparently. Very well. As this matter concerneth Omega, I shall speak with it in thy stead. Ayame, aren't you going to introduce us to your knowledgeable little dragon friend? Oh yeah, this is Midgard's armor. You know, the father of all dragons. What? The Midgard's armor? Who fought and fell at the Battle of Silvertear Skies? And here I was, content to be traveling in the company of just one legend. Without wishing to offend you, hero, the father of dragons does have something you do not, that being relevant knowledge. There's much we could learn from him. Little and less is known about Omega's origin. It first appeared in records dating back to the Third Astral Era, before the Allegan Empire reached its zenith. And said records had but one thing to say: Omega activation successful. In the centuries that followed, the Allegans enjoyed rapid technological development, but there was nary a further mention of Omega until its capture of Bahamut. Its existence is a mystery among mysteries, a tale among tales. 'Twas always assumed that the Allegans built it, and I had no reason to believe otherwise. But now Midgard's armor tells us that it's not even of our world. No, we've kind of met the race of beings that spawned it. But that is in the future from this point. Just so, it haileth from another star. More than that I will not say. I have spoken with this being. It telleth of a strange plane beyond this hollow, wherein it did reside from the moment of its creation. For reasons unknown, it was ordered to fight, yet being weak, it chose flight instead and thus crossed over unto this world. Ordered to fight by Omega? Why in the seven hells would it do that? To put its creations to the proof. If you would know more, go forth and look upon the truth with your own eyes. Wait, you're saying we should jump in? Of course we should. You have not to fear from the fall. The hollow hath become a portal into Omega's domain. Once there, this being shall guide you. Servant of Hydaelyn, fate bindeth me to Omega. If it be thine intent to pursue it, I shall lend thee my strength. So you, really can show us around inside the hole, can you? Apparently. Alright, well, let's head on in. Without any of us imagine things would come to this, but the Father of Dragons has given his assurance, let us take our investigation into the yawn. I've already apprised Jessie of our intent and instructed her to have our engineers on standby. Since we have no way of knowing what awaits us in there, I need to be ready for anything. Are you? I think so. Let's go. Let us begin. We appear to be translucent. What is this place? And what's wrong with us? I can see straight through me. Welcome home, Alpha. Welcome, mortals. Okay. I am Omega, and I have awaited your coming. I communicate with you now via one of my monitors. You stand in the rift between dimensions, where a vital experiment is presently in progress. Your participation is appreciated. Please indicate your consent. Experiment? If you want our participation, you'll have to tell us a little more than that. We're disappearing. Non-participating entities will be summarily erased. Please indicate your consent. It seems we can't even exist here without Omega's leave. I think it's fairly clear what we have to do, don't you? Alright. We're in. Thank you for your cooperation. You are provisionally assigned to the Alpha Group. Alright, we are in the interdimensional rift. Or at least a segment of it that has been taken over by Omega. Looks like some manner of tower, or egg. The aim of the experiment is to determine the mightiest being in creation. To that end, 89 candidates have been selected and recreated. They are grouped by dimension, matched by strength, and pitted against one another. That which you identify as a chocobo is subject alpha, and you have been assigned to its group. This assignation is tentative, however, pending an assessment of your fitness to serve as fully fledged test subjects. Your combat capabilities will be evaluated shortly. Combat capabilities? You mean you want us to fight? Affirmative. A course shall be constructed for this purpose, through which you must attempt to fight your way. Your suitability will be confirmed upon reaching the Deltascape test world beyond. Please note, however, that only entities with existential authorization may interact with objects in the rift. Of your number, only Alpha has this at present. Before you may engage in combat, said authorization must be temporarily transferred to you. Nero's having fun. Ah, an invitation from Omega itself. Not even I could have foreseen this. You are accepting it, of course. It's preferable to summary erasure, as I'm sure you'll agree. Yep. Let's go. Alpha, was it? My colleagues and I are minded to participate in Omega's experiment. Will you transfer your authorization to us? Existential authorization transferred. Subjects ready to engage. Please begin at your own convenience and proceed as directed. All right. Let's go. Or is this the starting point? I think this floor moves. Ah, yes. Take the lead. Ayame will follow. All right, let's go. There's a green box on the floor. It's protected by some sort of barrier. Ooh, barriers are my specialty. I'll have this down before you know it. Alright, and you just pulled that out of your pocket, did you? Something's going on. Oh, so it changes into a life form, and a hostile one at that. Very well then. Alright, it's down. Uh-oh. And another one. Another one. It seems they'll continue spawning so long as the monitor is operational. Wedge? There we go. Ah, it's out of commission. Trick is to reverse the barrier's energy current. Well done, Wedge. That leaves just the enemy. Alright, we'll deal with it. Alright. Some kind of teleporter. Alright. Matter relocation device. Alright, looks like we got some more stuff to deal with over here. Same approach as before. Wedge and Biggs, the monitor is yours. The rest of us will tend to the enemy whenever you're ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Yep. Yes. Just AoE them all down. Alright, we got rid of the monitor. Excellent. Alright, there's another teleporter. Alright, structure ahead must be the Deltascape. Alright. Looks like we have a couple more hostiles to deal with and 2 monitors that we're going to have to deal with. Acheron, huh? Ooh, there's a stack of blocks right there. Yeah, these are Catoblepus type enemies. They have gaze attacks. And that's a behemoth. Alright, we got more of the Asherons. Epic Meteor. Or Ecliptic Meteor. Oh, we got it down. Very good. Alright, duty complete. We're through. That's our goal, the Deltascape, if I'm not mistaken. What do you think is waiting for us in there? Omega said it groups subjects by dimension. If the creatures we fought on the way were merely intended to separate the wheat from the chaff, it would seem certain that far greater challenges await inside these egg-like objects. Our fellow test subjects, most like. I'm not certain what to make of that castle. Could it somehow be connected to the subjects? Alpha apparently wants something. Alpha, but hold on a moment. Shouldn't either one or the other of us be translucent? Subjects confirmed to have arrived at Deltascape. Analysis complete. Congratulations, you are approved for participation. Your strength places you in the self-same tier as Alpha, the feeblest and furthest removed from myself. Nonetheless, you are now fully fledged test subjects. Welcome, weakest challengers. As corporeal life forms, you need not undergo development within a test world. Instead, you may use this space freely. Not quite what I would have chosen, but one must make do. Speaking of which, what is it that we're supposed to do, exactly? You are to enter the Deltascape and defeat all test subjects within. Please note, however, that strength in numbers will not be acknowledged. There is a strict limit upon how many entities may participate in combat. Only a small party may have existential authorization transferred from Alpha. Good luck. A small party, meaning probably 8 people. So the eggs do contain our fellow test subjects. Just as I predicted, eh, Garland? Before we turn our thoughts to the Deltascape, I suggest we set up a base of operations here. And it looks like they've been busy in those couple of seconds it took to load. A Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master. Nice. Alright, Biggs. I was thinking about asking the crew to throw some supplies in after us, but only the gods know if they'd make it here in one piece. You can bet they wouldn't be the right way up if they did, though. And Wedge? Dude, all that jumping and fading and fighting really took it out of me. What you need now is a steaming hot cup of tea, and nothing makes a better brew than the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, coming soon to Garland Ironworks approved vendor near you. Sorry, Jesse made me do it. Nero. Quite impressive for an improvised arrangement, even if I do say so myself. Now then, let us see what we can learn from our host's many monitors. So it looks like you've appropriated them. It's somewhat cobbled together, but this should suffice as a base of operations. Take heart, old friend. Though every step we take seems to raise more questions, we will wade through this mire of mysteries eventually, of that I have no doubt. Alright, next. Into the Deltascape. Right then, what to do next? We know that Omega is conducting tests to determine the strongest being, but we do not know its ultimate purpose, nor even its exact whereabouts. Plainly, however, It is within Omega's power to curtail our stay here whensoever it chooses. Accordingly, we have little choice but to proceed as bidden and defeat the test subjects waiting in the Deltascape. Well, Alpha certainly seems keen, though it might be best if you left the fighting to others, little one. It is, of course, assuming others are willing. What do you say, old friend? Sure thing. That's why we're here. This promises to be a most entertaining foray, and I would not dream of missing any part of it. You may rely on me to provide you with remote support. With a commendable foresight, I took the liberty of borrowing the various monitors that were lying around, and shall extract all the information I can from them. There's a pity none of us speaks Chocobo. As I recall, though, we are supposed to have Alpha transfers authorization to us prior to engaging in combat. In which case, Ayame, you'll need him to accompany you into the Deltascape. See to your preparations and proceed whenever you are ready. Alright. Into the Deltascape. Alright, so let's talk to Alpha. Alright, Alpha appears eager to proceed. You may enter Deltascape version 1.0 whenever you are ready. Then we shall. And I will be back once we're in. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. So let's go on in. Well, if people will actually, hit the button. There we go. Well, there's our flying serpent friend from earlier. Emmy, do you hear me? Your opponent is called Altoroit. No idea what the name means, but good luck. These are all references, I think, to older Final Fantasy games. And nice thing about Omega, there's no lead up to any of these fights, so we just go straight in, which means people won't be pulling before I'm done my cutscenes. Yep, those are going to explode. And then those on the outside are going to explode. Oh, it's gonna kick that one. I'm just gonna freeze the floor. we go. The wrong button there. Alright, now we got the fireballs. Yeah, all through the things you gotta deal with. Now, at some point, it is gonna knock all of our health down. And I can't remember when that is, but we are tearing through this thing quickly. Alright. Alright. Those are going to explode. Stay away from them. Then we kick that one. Alright, roar. Well, it looks like we're not going to get to that mechanic. Very well. Oh, and I leveled up. Alright, now, unlike in previous iterations, I am actually going to roll on loot. So I will be back in a moment. Alright, loot pool's cleaned up. So let's go. And we're out. Alright, Sid. Well done, my friend. We were lucky enough to witness every moment of your struggle via the Deltascape's various surveillance devices. I dare say we had a better view than you did. Gaining control over them was the extent of our accomplishments for this outing, though I suppose we did also learn your adversary's name. Rest assured, however, that there will be plenty more such outings. Preliminary analysis suggests that there are 4 combatants in the Deltascape, all told, including your friend, Alta Reut, which means you will be required to win 3 further bouts, with deltas 2 to 4 in this test world alone. Needless to say, there are plenty more such worlds in the Rift, holding the remaining 85 subjects between them. Plainly, our host has gone to no small amount of trouble. Quite why it is so obsessed with determining the strongest being is another question. Omega seeketh to improve itself, to evolve. This was ever its primary directive. Through contending with mighty foes, it groweth stronger. Having vanquished the vile simulacrum you call Shinryu, a greater adversary was needed. In the absence of such a being, it had but to create one. So in the name of self-improvement, it wants to make a new playmate, and it chose to undertake the task here to avoid outside interference, yes? In part. The making of life is not Omega's primary function. It bringeth complex beings into the corporeal realm only at great cost to itself. As such, it employeth this plane to test unfinished works, that it might determine a single entity worthy of creation. If I understand you correctly, the moment Omega's grand experiment is complete, it will give birth to a creature mightier than Shinryu, and then proceed to fight it. Gods help us if a battle of that scale should come to pass. The powers unleashed would be enough to bring about another calamity. Assuming the dragon has the right of it, all test subjects must needs be works in progress. Save for ourselves, of course. But how then do we explain Alpha? As we recall, it manifested corporeally outside the rift. Then again, it is hardly the most complex of creatures, mayhap it was finished by accident. Don't you make fun of Alpha? He's a good boy, and if it hasn't been for him, he would have been erased. He might not be strong, but he's brave and reliable and adorable. Changing the subject for a moment, Chief. After you lost track of Omega, you said you re-engaged its stasis systems, right? Meaning something somewhere isn't working like it should. Only ask because me and Wedge have done pretty much all we can here, and we're wondering if it might be worth going to Cartano to look into it. That would be a great help. Nero and I can handle things at this end. We'll be off then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, eh? And you be a good boy, Alpha. Do as you're told and look after Ayame for me. Alright, so Biggs and Wedge are heading out. Alright. A catastrophe waiting. Sid seems keen to pit you against the next foe in the Deltascape. We must pray that Biggs and Wedge are able to repair the stasis system. If they can't, we'll have little choice but to see Omega's experiment all the way to its bitter conclusion. A tall order, I concede, and one that would require you to prove yourself the mightiest being in creation. Well, we must hope for the best and plan for the worst, which in this case means pressing on with the tests. Are you ready for the next foray? One moment, Chief. My analysis is yet incomplete, but it would seem Subject Delta 2 is capable of manipulating gravity. How fortunate, then, that I but recently chanced to assemble something which might mitigate its effects. An anti-gravity gimbal. May it serve you well. Alright, then. Alpha, let's go. And Deltascape version 2.0 is now accessible. Alright. And now we wait. Again. And I'll be back. Again. Alright. And we're ready to go. So this one's actually interesting. Because of that anti-gravity gimbal that Nero gave us. So we actually gonna have to think a little three-dimensionally here. So I don't know if the fight will last long enough for us to get through the whole sequence of its patterns. And here it is, Catastrophe, a fitting name for the havoc it will doubtless wreak. Have fun now. We'll try to. Alright. Oh, I forgot to elevate. We're alright though. I always forget about that first quake. Every single time I've ever done this one. Alright, we gotta elevate. Let's do this. We need to elevate. I don't know why that person elevated, but... Alright, it's gonna spawn these little stalks, I guess you'd call them. Tentacles, maybe? And we gotta look for the one that's gonna stop moving. Yep, over this direction. It's... Yep, there we go. Oh, I think, yep. Elevate. There we go. Look away. Alright, maybe you're like right dead in the center. Look away. Looks like some people got stoned. Okay, this is going to be easy. Just going to get out of the way over here. I think you actually don't want to be elevated there. Alright, just stay on the ground. And then it's gonna start pulling us into the ground. Yep. Wait for that to pop. And then go. I'm gonna limit break. There it goes. And it seems like I got the loot. Yes, I did. Excellent. I actually won it. Because the gear set that comes out of this is really, really cool. So, I'm going to try and get me a set. All right. Nero. A rousing performance made possible by my anti-gravity gimbal. Lest you wonder, you are not supposed to be able to descend of your own volition. The device worked quite as intended. It just wasn't intended for use on living... Let's just say it wasn't exactly in its intended use. Anyway, that's another mighty foe laid low, and may I say that I had every faith you would succeed. Alright, and so I think we'll go ahead and call that an episode here. We'll finish off the remaining 2 contestants in the Deltascape when we come back for next episode. So for now, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.